think I belong here. I don't think I fit in.
Oh, nonsense. Of course you do.
Oh, no, I mean it. I mean it. It's just somebody must have goofed if I gotta stay here another day.
Peace. It's Professor Griff, public enemy, the ex-minister.
Which means it's too strong.
All right, greetings, everyone. It's Professor Griff, and shout out to everyone that is coming through today. Really appreciate everyone for that. I'm trying to find some. Hold on 1 second, fam. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. All right. Shout out to everyone that's coming on right now. Really appreciate everyone. Shout out to Quan, Johnny Taylor, Little Goddess, Great Filibuster, Enemies Public. What's up, Quan? How you feel? All right. Got Forklift in the building. Yep. Big V. All right. The D-Train was good with you. Shout out to everyone on IG. We're going to be talking about CIA and hip-hop. All right. If you have any information, just kind of let me know. But I'm going to lay some things out, and hopefully we can dialogue. Salute everyone. All right. All right. If you would like to donate for the ebook fundraiser, you can still do that by submitting your donations to Professor Griff, yours truly, at $ Professor Griff. That's the Cash App. The minimum is $5, and anyone that have participated in the fundraiser will let you know there is some information inside of those books. Some of them are hard to find. Some of them are very difficult to find. Some of them are extremely expensive online. So take advantage of it, fam. All right. All right, so the resurrection formula is pouring probably in another week, and the Serious Minds formula is pouring probably a couple of weeks after that. All right, so if you'd like to purchase the brain tonic or resurrection formulas, just hit me up at 678-557-2919. All right, if you'd like to support independent Black media, you can do that by just hitting the Cash App, say Professor Griff, dig on your show. Thanks for the information. All right, here's a Captain Crunch coupon or some food stamps or something. Anything would help. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you. All right, let's dive into this subject. All right. I think I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Hold on, fam. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom down and see if I can put on some music. Hold on. All right, family. I want to give a shout out to everyone that participated in the listening party for my album Asafo Soul. By a show of hands, how many people heard the album? I'm waiting for some hands. Show me your hands. All right. Yeah, Asafo Soul album. All right, Quan, you still have the link to the Bandcamp? We're going to put the link up. I need everybody to write the link down. All right. Let me see. Hopefully you still have it, Quan. Hold on 1 second, fam. I think that's it. Wait, just go to professorgriff.bandcamp.com. Professorgriff.bandcamp.com. The Asapo Soul album is out. Thank you very much. I released the album, the full album, and I released the instrumentals. All right. There's some couple of cats. Oh, thank you, Quan. I'll wait for you. There's a couple of cats that want to do some remixes, so I'm going to get it out. Shout out to D Nick, Microphone Misfits. All right. Was that it, Quan? I wasn't sure. You got to get it anyway, man, because you got more information than I do, Quan. All right. Jazz Electric Peace. What's good with you? Enoch Muhammad, how you feel? Good, bro? All right. So you have to get the Asapo Soul album. It's Warrior Meta. That's the proper link, Quan. See what I mean? I told you yours is better than mine. That's the link. ProfessorGriff.bandcamp.com/album/Asapo-Soul. All right. Okay. All right. So shout out to everyone that came to the listening party. It was online. It was a beautiful thing. I'm going to do another listening party probably another week or so. Y'all can come through, listen to the album, have a discussion. All right. Shout out to all of those people that came. For everyone that came to the listening party, come to the next one. I am giving you the instrumental album for free. All right. The instrumental album for free. All right. Shout out to LP. Thank you for the support. Thanks to everyone for the support. Now let's dive into this particular subject, which I found kind of disturbing. I think the reason why I found it disturbing simply because when I heard the person say that the CIA created hip hop, I just know that that's not true. All right, no. Now, if hip hop was created, when hip hop was created, the government, like they always do, will find progressive movements and infiltrate the progressive movements. All right? When the progressive movements begin to move and the progressive movements that are local become global on an international scale and able to reach people. And then when positive conscious groups started putting the information in the song and songs, and that information spread on a global level, then I think those people came in and said, okay, we have to put a stop to this. So I'm going to ask you, when do you think that time in hip hop was? What period was that in hip hop? All right. So of course, the COINTELPRO with J. Edgar Hoover has been happening for a long, long time, family. Disinformation campaigns, that's been going on for a long time. It's nothing new. All right. When do you think that happened? And then what were the goals of the COINTELPRO with J. Edgar Hoover? And what year did that happen? All right. It says the FBI has used covert actions against domestic political groups since its inception. However, the covert operations under the official name of the COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, labeled that it took between 1956 and 1971. Many of the tactics used in the COINTELPRO are alleged to have seen continued use, including discrediting targets through psychological warfare. I spoke on that in my book, The Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop. Smearing individuals and groups using false documents and by planting false reports in the media. Harassment, wrongful imprisonment, illegal violence, and assassinations. and assassination attempts. According to the Senate report, the FBI motivation was protecting national security, preventing violence, and maintaining the existence of social and political order. They had to keep control of the black community. And since hip hop was reaching and had far-reaching, I don't want to say tentacles, but it had a far-reaching had an outreach that was way beyond what the FBI and the CIA and the rest of the alphabet boys could ever imagine. Let me put it that way. Now, so in the mid-60s, Dr. King began to publicly criticize the FBI for giving insufficient attention to the use of terrorism by white supremacist groups. So since that didn't happen, and there are white terrorist groups in America, since that didn't happen and hip hop was spilling over into the white neighborhoods, affecting, Ashley and Jane and Johnny and Becky and the rest of them, they said, no, we have to put a stop to this now. So what year was this, family, that you think it happened to hip hop? If hip hop came to prominence, I'd say in the late 80s. What happened going into the 90s? Thank you, Ben Frank. What happened in the 90s that hip hop seemed like it took a drastic turn to the left? And then what was the thing that they ushered in? And we're going to talk about the letter, the meeting, rather that destroyed hip hop and took hip hop off its path, off its track. All right. So what was the things that they ushered in? Can we formulate a list right now? Can we put together a short list? Is that possible? What were the gangster rap, materialism, consumerism, sacrificing people like Tupac and Biggie? All right. So the 90s ushered in a whole new era, a whole new mindset, a whole new spirit, a whole new way of doing things. I know Laya Cohen's name is going to come up. But Larry Penton says Griff spoke about this in his book, The Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop. So when I started seeing it come up again, hypersexualism, thank you, Jazz Electric. All right. So when I started seeing it coming up again, I just said, oh, wow. And then I watched the 50th anniversary the other night of hip hop on CBS, and the sister came on and started talking about hip hop went global. And then when you listen to the artists that are rapping over Afro beats, it's the same subject as those artists from the 90s. Materialism, consumerism. Take your clothes off, look at my crusty ass-ism, fuckism, leave me the fuck alone-ism, racism, sexism, materialism. You don't tell me what to do ism, all the other kind of isms. All right. So when they ushered in gangster rap, they ushered in pimping and hustling and all those things that were separate from hip hop, morphed his way into hip hop and merged into hip hop. And now we have some rappers like Flavor Flav that are pimps. Oh, excuse me, Flavor Slav that are pimps. So now we have pimping in hip hop, hustling. We have strip hop. We have all these kind of forms of hip hop under the guise of people wanting to express themselves. All right, and be creative. We got cross-dressing in hip hop now. We have all kind of madness in hip hop. So when the 90s kicked in, those artists, the vast majority of those artists ushered in a new way of doing things inside of hip hop, and then that became hip hop. So if we were to adhere to the 5 fundamental elements of hip hop and turn around and abandon that to go after their wealth and trade our God in for their wealth, then I think it's a very deeper issue when you start talking about the CIA and hip hop. So let's talk about the CIA. What is the CIA? And let me ask a basic question. Do the CIA have authority to operate in America? What is the CIA's function? So to the gentleman that did the show the other night, I know his name, but I'm not going to call him out. You said the CIA created hip hop. No. In my title, I said the CIA financed hip hop for a social engineering to control black youth. And then recently you heard the Israeli lady say it. She openly admitted it in a meeting that the number one problem of the Israeli government is black youth. You're right. You said, remember taking over, remember alcohol taking over, and some are coming out of the crack epidemic. So crack and alcohol, everybody had to have a liquor. Who were some of those artists, and what's the name of their liquor, their brands that they put out and merged their brand with these liquor companies? Of course, we already know Seagram, gin and juice. What are some of the other companies that waxed fat off of hip hop while we shot one another down and killed one another down and spoke about all this madness in our songs? All right, they sent their children's children through college and set them up with wealth unimaginable. So if hip hop made billions of dollars, where are all our billion-dollar hip hop artists at? So Nas is sponsored by Hennessy. Wow. So it's the bottle and the birth of the baby and little baby, little Wayne, little skid mark, little underarm, little bad breath, just little badass, just little fucking little. Yeah, someone said it. So yeah, it kind of struck me odd and strange that I would see someone like Flavor Slav becoming a pimp as of, I guess, the other day, since he has something happening with Lotto on December 22nd. So I guess Flavor's a pimp now. I don't understand how you go from Public Enemy to being a pimp. Yeah. So I guess the agenda now is still happening. So I guess when the 90s came in, it came in hard, right? I guess now everybody went for the dollar, went for the bag, all right? And all those artists that stuck to the art form, all right? You called us suckers and busters. So then if hip hop was truly a CIA engineered program, social program for social engineering, LP, what page did I talk about Edward Bernays and these other people in my book, The Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop? So there was an agenda that went on after the birth of hip hop. The CIA did not create hip hop. The CIA, well, y'all didn't answer my first question, because the CIA is not supposed to be operating in America like that. What is the function of the CIA? We just skipped over that. All immature adolescent plus prepubescent taking us home, making little boy become a man, so he's smart hustling for what he sees. I don't understand this. Hip hop numbers have been down. Edward Bernays is the father of consumerism, okay? So there was these artists now being financed by liquor companies. All right. So now the thing in the 90s, the thing was attach yourself to a brand and take it from there. You guys got to check the movie Obama produced called Leave the World Behind. Okay, we're talking about hip hop right now. Help me out, Christopher. So thank you very much, Always Me. Always Me said the CIA is supposed to spy on other countries, not its own people. If that is the case, then why are people talking about the CIA created hip hop then? So then if they introduced this idea of marrying themselves onto brands and they talked about liquor and wine and all this kind of stuff in their songs, okay, the liquor companies just came and said, okay, we'll give you a deal. Talk about, you're already talking about our product in your songs. Let's do a deal. And those that didn't turn up the bottle, I don't care if it's Hennessy, Ciroc, back then it was 40 dogs. Yeah, there was gin and juice. It was all kind of stuff. And if it wasn't that bottle, you had grown ass men walking around here sucking on baby bottles. So how is it that the CIA was able to operate among hip hop? Who did they hire? Who did they use? Who was in bed? You right, Brass Monkey. I don't know the brands. I'm not a drinker, but I'm just saying, help me out. The CIA is more American than so-called apple pie. Okay, we know that, but answer my question though. Christopher, we're talking about hip hop and the CIA. We could throw in the alphabet, the rest of the alphabet boys too, but right now we're talking about the CIA. Come on, bro, killing me. And you're talking about the movie. Come on, bro. Thank you, Quan. They use easy marks. Unfortunately, our own. It's always going to be that one person that's going to take the bag to compromise themselves and sell out, all right, and thinking that they're going to live happily ever after. You said a former CIA agent. The former CIA is saying that there was a meeting to set gangster rap to set up the pipeline to private prisons. And you sure that was former CIA? All right, I'm not sure. I don't think it was the CIA. All right. Are we throwing the CIA thing around too loosely? Do we really know what the function of the CIA is? And you're right, 68 Scorpio, it's treason. He said the CIA, for the CIA mission to destroy the black community started during the civil rights movement. Okay. Black Dot talking about the meeting, but not CIA. Because I don't think the CIA had their bloody, dirty hands involved in that particular meeting in California that they had in order to derail hip hop, in order to fill these private prisons. All right. So they wanted to niggerize hip hop. All right. So if we know the function of the CIA, then we truly have to understand its purpose. So when we kind of use the terminology, we have to kind of know. All right. You see, it wasn't the CIA following Tupac and Biggie around before their deaths. No, they were not. The FBI was, not the CIA. Everyone needs to kind of press the pause button and get your definitions straight. Yes, you're absolutely correct. We can honestly say that the CIA have studied mind control methods. So have the FBI and some other the alphabet boys. All right. You said it could have been Mossad because Jerry Heller had affiliations with Mossad. Okay. Laya Cohen had affiliations also. See a book called Black African Americans and the FBI Files. All right. I think Philip Muhammad dropped it in his book also. Damon, what's up, man? Damon Bynum checking in from Strong Island, Amityville in the building. All right. We are talking right now the CIA in hip hop. The CIA financed hip hop for social engineering to control young black men in America. And they had to come in and control hip hop. All right. And all the other vices that came along, even when you start talking about this whole bling era with Jay-Z and the rest of these cats. I'm talking about the whole, talking about that, all of the 90s. John Potash talked about that. He has a book called The FBI War on Tupac and Black Leaders, and the leftist leaders, pardon me. John Potash. John Potash is a brilliant writer. He has some good work. All right. I've always mentioned him in my lectures. Study Black Dot's book. All right. Hip Hop Decoded. Okay, yeah, he could have said it, but yeah, you said professor. There was a report that the former CIA official John Homestand came out on Russian TV and made this claim. Haven't been able to verify this. Yeah, he probably said they could do some work, but as far as the CIA operating in America, they have to keep that on the hush if they are operating. And to be honest with you, I'm not naive. They probably are. All right. So we did feel the shift and the change in hip hop. Once upon a time, hip hop coming up out of the birthplace of what the poets gave us on any street corner in America, but mainly New York, and probably simultaneously happening in California with the Watts Prophets and the Last Poets, Gil Scott Heron, and some other poets, Nikki Giovanni and some other poets. So when these things was going down, I'm sure they looked at all of the artists that use their artistry to speak and move the masses. There's a Bob Marley film coming out in a minute, I believe in February. So they looked at all of these people that had that kind of power. And if you notice, a lot of them people are not with us anymore. Bob Marley, Tupac, Biggie, Michael Jackson, Prince, anyone that had a large platform and a voice that could speak to the masses of the people, all right, they made sure they controlled them. So when we talked about the weaponization of black music, all right, myself and the pills, red pill and blue pill, we weren't wrong. Myself, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and my wife Soleil, we weren't wrong when we put that information out. Philip Muhammad was not wrong when he put the information out. Of course, Whitney Houston. All right. So when we talked about the CIA and hip hop, financing certain artists. Thank you, Quan. You said page 13 introduces Edward Bernays and Professor Griff's book, The Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop. What did I say about Edward Bernays, Mr. Pinton, sir? Ben Frank says, Professor, you taught me about Vivendi. Much appreciation. Give thanks. I talked about BlackRock and some other people, but some other organizations, but yeah. Who was listening to Professor Griff back then? Because everything I said then is coming to pass today. Yes, Michael X, we could say Sam Cooke. Shout out to Kiki Chang. BedX in the building. So if the CIA had their hand in financing a social engineering program inside of hip hop, and right after Public Enemy comes out, hip hop makes a sharp left turn, and we started getting gangster rap, pimping, thugging. Everybody want to be ballers, all right? And those songs came out, all right? And those individuals that were made rich, not wealthy, there is a difference, made rich, all right, off of feeding black people that poison. You see, when D1 stood up and said that, he wasn't wrong. And he mentioned a few of the artists. He wasn't wrong. So we have to understand the particular dynamic and how it's going down. The CIA, with this program, financing this social engineering program, stripped the black woman down in hip hop. Made drugs readily available. So much so that the FBI, the task force that was formulated in New York City and other places to go after rappers, was working overtime. Fake diamond industry with fake jewels and fake chains and fake diamonds and all this other kind of stuff blossomed, man. People were buying chains for $50,000 and all this other kind of stuff, just cars and, you know, chains and jewelry and all kind of madness was going on. I am here to say that that was by design. That was by design. Bernays was the father of public relations. He coined the term engineering of consent to describe the technique for controlling the masses. Study Edward Bernays. Study what Black Dot said in his book. All right? They wanted to control the masses. So if hip hop had control of the masses and the masses were listening to hip hop, what better way? Listen, I don't think they controlled hip hop. They control some individuals in hip hop. So they don't have to control hip hop. If they can control a few people in hip hop, then they can sexualize some other people in hip hop. Whether it's over sexualization of the so-called, the video vixen chick, and emasculating the males, then we have a balance that's thrown off. All right. Then we can introduce the homo thug. You understand what I'm saying? And this worked in hip hop. So now we got Little Nas X and all these other people floating around here. You understand what I'm saying? And then, hey, if it's a social engineering program, then let's press the pause button and look into the program and see what this program produced. It produced fake gangster rappers. Cats only were thugs and gangsters when they went in the studio, but other than that, they were not. They weren't about that life. They were fake revolutionaries. And we can name a few of them. They weren't real revolutionaries. A revolution is complete, constructive, conscious, cosmic change. We had fake drug dealers. So much so they selling drugs on their iPad and all this other kind of madness they were doing. So we have to understand the dynamics and what the program produced. What artists did it produce? Because those artists that didn't make it through the program, we have a long list of those individuals that have passed away, either being shot or ended up losing their life because of drugs. Michael X, you said a fake pimp created real pimps. Damn. Michael X said fake pimps created real pimps. Forklift told me earlier that the government is the pimp. They big pimping. You understand what I'm saying? So much so now the program is still active and it's still on Ghost. They green lighted the Flavor Flav being a pimp, and the program is still working. It hasn't stopped. Guess what part of the program we in now? We ain't the Lotto, Sexy Red, Little Skid Mark, MC Dingy Tampon. These are the rappers that are coming out now. You understand what I'm saying? When you can make a song talking about your booty hole, listen, your lips and all that other kind of stuff, yeah, there is a limit. Somebody says, well, it's just lyrical expression. And yeah, there's a limit to that madness. I'm sorry. Because them other people, the doily ones, all right, small hats, yeah, start talking about them like you talk about black women. And see won't they put a halt to your career? So there is a limit. Don't tell me it's not. It is. Nah, Michael X, I got to disagree with you. It's not all programming. I made my last album in my basement over the last 6 months. Ain't nobody programmed me. So it's not all programming, no. Vaughn Muhammad, peace, what's good? So predictive program warning, leave the world behind. We got that. Someone said, go see the movie. We're going to check the movie out. That's what part of the program we're in now. Taking your babies, all right, before they can even reach puberty. Now, they on the mic talking about, I mean, how low can you go? What else can you talk about after you don't talk about your booty hole and your other stuff? Where else you going from there? So where else can you go from? Help me out, fam. I'm somebody's granddad. Where the hell else can you go? Melly Mel, what's up, man? Mal, what's happening, bro? Where else can you go? Where else can you go from there? I mean, what's your next song gonna be after you done made the booty hole and your lips is purple and pink and green? You understand what I'm saying? Where you going from there? Thank you very much. ADHD is a weapon as well. Thank you. Thank you. You think these designer drugs invented themselves? Hell nah. They're going to keep you sedated. They're going to throw you a little bit of trinkets. Oh, you're right, Quan. They introduced this whole idea of pedophilia now. So now we got cats like Puppy that's going to be on trial in a minute. All right? They going after all them cats that they done used and made rich and gave them free reign to sleep with little boys, little girls, and all that other kind of stuff. Now they coming to collect. The devil is coming to collect now. Yeah, you're right, Charles Wilson. I believe it's Satanism. And it's some other stuff going on. But we told you that when we talked about Aleister Crowley and some of these other people. Yep. We can honestly say Diddy, Jay-Z, and a few other people are the gatekeepers. That's not only Professor Griff saying that. I've been saying that. Black Dot talked about the rituals that you got to go through in order for you to get a record deal. You're right, MJ. Hold on. Let me put that up, bro. MJ said we went from having rappers' names that felt something like Kings and Big, and then we went to Lil, Baby, acronyms. Yeah, it's all downhill from here. You're right. Do what thy will, which is the whole of the law. Voodoo Glitch said the cycle of idolatry in Rumpelstiltskin. Somebody said Flavor Flav didn't sell out. He was never in order to sell out. I'm telling you, if you don't press the pause button and begin to understand what's going on in this subculture called hip hop, anything they do after this point and you don't understand, not to say that you have to understand, you go into understanding or understanding, it's up to you whether or not if you want to try to get it. I mean, look, I'm not going to read. I can't press the reset button. My book has been out almost 10 years, family. So if the book was out 10 years, I must have had the information 10 years before that. I mean, this is really real. I talked about that in my lecture, James D. The U.S. patented in 1976. It talked about the apparatus and method for remotely monitoring and altering brain waves. They've been using covert, non-evasive mind control weapons on humans since the 70s. And that patent number is US 3951134A. All right. Very, very real dynamic. All right. Brother Rob, the poet Brown, says they took the balance out of hip hop. Positively is now the underground. Quan said, I'm never surprised by what the enemy does. As a matter of fact, I expect it. Never underestimate your enemy and what they will do. All right. If they see anyone that's on the rise that will rise up and speak to the masses of the people, Trust me, they're coming after you one way or the other. And I am here to say, and I've said it a month ago, when you find people in Public Enemy going left, and Public Enemy is supposed to be the epitome of conscious hip hop, once you find one selling out and aligning themselves with Israeli Zionists and the other one want to be a pimp, it's a wrap, fam. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Supreme Chief Holiday, give thanks. I mean, my thing is, I'm not. Yeah, I decided after I did that last thing when I was talking about, you know, the cats in Public Enemy, I'm done with it, man. There's nothing else I can say because I can't continue to align myself with that particular energy because they've aligned themselves with Zionists, and I can't do that. I just can't. I'm going to be on the right side of history. Trust me. Said Griff, you still PE? Stop fronting. I'm PE, yeah. I'm Public Enemy till I die. I mean, I ain't got no tattoos or nothing, but I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying? I helped set that thing in motion. But to move forward with the Bernie Sanders thing and the Liar Cohen thing and the pimping thing and the Star Strangled Banner, I can't do, bro. I really appreciate you, though. Boss to King, I can't do that. I can't align myself with that. All right, my energy and my spirit won't allow me, man. Info specialist? Absolutely not. No. All right, last few oh man, last few we're not gonna be on here long, fam. Always me. Thank you for the donation. Really appreciate that. Remember, fam, check out the link that I have on the page. It's for my album, The Asafo Soul, African Warrior Tribal Beats. All right, affirmations for warriors. All right. Yeah, we have to be very mindful, man. I mean, yeah, no. If you look at some of the deaths of some of the artists and some of the artists that have left here, some of them, of course, were under strange circumstances. Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston. Yeah. Thank you, Quan. All right, we only got a few more minutes, fam. I really appreciate y'all. Thanks everyone for coming to the listening party. So, Quan, I'm going to schedule the next listening party. I want everybody to come. There's a setting that I forgot to set, Quan. With everybody can come in. You don't necessarily have to purchase the album in order to get in. So I'm going to turn that setting off where anybody can come to the listening party and come listen to the Asafo Soul album. And anyone that came to the first listening party and purchased the album, you get the instrumentals for free. All right, family. I love y'all to life. This is Professor Griff. I gotta get out of here. I got some work to do. All right. Inshallah, I will see y'all on Thursday night. All right. How did Don Cornelius in his show on Soul Train? What did he used to say? No, that's not necessarily true. Hip hop was not an agent from the start. That's no. All right. Yeah, he wish you love, peace, and soul. Thank you very much. It's Professor Griff. I'm signing out. All right, serious minds attract serious minds. Seriously, I love y'all to life, fam. Peace.
That was good.
Hold on. Don't start running your mouth.